All right, welcome back. For more depressing content, we go to Ellis today. There are.
Hey, I'm the sad guy.
There was a big thing that came out against Meta again for the 1 millionth time, but this one's even more depressing than usual. So Ellis is going to break this down.
So the one that so this happens every now and then, like there's a leak or whatever, and we find out that people at Meta, I'm trying to choose my words very carefully.
Don't care.
Allegedly, no, it's not that. No, that's the thing is they find out they do care and they're powerless to
Stop it.
to stop the not caring of other people at the company.
Careless people, as they say.
Long story short, there is a law firm called Motley Rice. They are suing all the big social media companies. I think it's 4 of them. I forget which 4, but Meta's one of them. TikTok is another. I think it's Meta, TikTok, Snapchat, one other one. I don't know. The important thing is that as they're suing on behalf of school districts, alleging that these products are really addicting for kids, and obviously they are, and the companies knew that they were addicting and decided not to act on that information. So what happened is there's a bunch of filings, a bunch of discovery. I'm not like a legal person, and a lot of these documents and pieces of evidence got unsealed. So we got to see a bunch of internal communications and deposition transcripts and other stuff from this court case that was really illuminating. And before you go read this stuff yourself, just know there's some unfortunately, some kind of dark stuff in here that that we don't really want to talk about on Waveform. It involves kids being hurt. It's not what we're interested in. But there were some really funny quotes by Meta employees that I did really, really want to share with a little bit of context. And before I share these quotes, I feel obligated to say that Meta has already responded to this. Mm-hmm. And Meta said, and I'm going to read the exact Meta spokesperson quote. "We strongly disagree with these allegations, which rely on cherry-picked quotes and misinformed opinions in an attempt to present a deliberately misleading picture. The full record will show that for over a decade, we have listened to parents, researched issues that mattered most, and made real changes to protect teens."
Most of this filing was from an investigation in 2020, right?
It's an ongoing court case that has been going on for years. Some of these depositions were from as old as 2021, okay. I want to say. I don't know when these DMs came out, but they are investigating things that happened at Meta as far back as 2017,
cool.
I believe. So there's some things that, are pretty easy to understand that I think we've all heard about before. For example, there was an internal study at Meta called Project Mercury that was, Meta hired the company Nielsen that does media research to investigate what the psychological effects of quitting Meta products, specifically Facebook, were on users. The results were resoundingly people were happier, less anxious, less lonely, lived better lives when they quit Facebook. And Meta just sort of killed the entire project and made sure and hid all the findings. And their reason was there's this narrative in the media that Meta products are bad. And so, if you're going to quit Facebook, of course you're going to feel better because everyone already believes that Meta products are bad, which is a crazy argument to make, in my opinion. But, it sort of, I guess, works. Then there were a bunch of stuff that came out of Meta staffers sort of being this Nielsen study really does show that people are healthier.
There's an impact on social comparison.
Yeah.
Unhappy face emoji was the exact.
There's an impact on social comparison. Unhappy face emoji was the thing. Another Meta staffer wrote, "This is like the tobacco industry doing research and knowing cigs are bad and then keeping that info to themselves." That is an exact quote. Another user experience researcher wrote, "Oh my gosh, y'all, IG is a drug. We're basically pushers," which is a crazy thing to write about the company that you work for. Another UX researcher was recommending that Meta release this info to the public and wrote, "Because our product exploits weaknesses in the human psychology to promote product engagement and time spent, we need to alert people to the effect that the product has on their brain."
But we still give it up.
But we still did not. It is worth noting that Meta does not study addiction. They only study problematic use. I don't know exactly what that means, but what they did consider problematic use is, I guess, up to someone.
The lawyers.
So another thing, I don't know if you remember. So, does anyone remember what? I didn't know this code name, but something called Project Daisy, where Instagram hid like counts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was one of the accounts selected to beta test that, and none of my friends were, and I sounded like a crazy person, being like, "There's no likes on Instagram anymore. Yeah. This is really weird." And the goal of that was to try to make teens feel better because teens were sort of being encouraged to compare themselves to others, which is not easy when you're a teenager. And that got killed because it, affected engagement
Their
and
bottom
growth
line.
and time spent in the app. And one of the quotes that came out, I can't even, this one is so crazy. One of the quotes that came out was someone on the growth team insisting, and this is an exact quote, "It's a social comparison app. F***ing get used to it." Incredible, incredible care for your children. Here's another crazy thing that came out as this, and I'm just going to read. This is from Time Magazine. I'm just going to read this exactly as Time wrote it. Meta used location data to push notifications to students in what they called school blasts, presumably as part of an attempt to increase youth engagement during the school day. As one employee allegedly put it, "One of the things we need to optimize for is sneaking a look at your phone under your desk in the middle of chemistry." Smiley face. Just fantastic stuff right here. Time has a great article on it. Reuters has a great article on it. And if you're not okay, that's fine, because just know, to me, and I'm going to wrap up this very sad story like this. I feel like there's this narrative that Meta's been pushing that time spent in app is not the most important metric to their business. They've said this sort of roundabout ways that they value other things. And to me, all of these leaks indicate that does not seem to be the case, that time spent is still the most important way Meta makes money off of their products, which